Alright, so hello guys and welcome to our first lecture, okay, asynchronous lecture. So in today's asynchronous class, we will be discussing the basics of print media. Alright, and syempre meron na rin tayong konting discussions when it comes to layouting. Alright, so let me first start this lecture by talking about layout. Alright, so layout communicates as loud as your content. So ano ba ibig sabihin nito? So ang definition kasi ng layout guys ay meron kayong mga contents or numbers of contents, and pagsasama-samahin niyo yon, and in such a way na dapat yung inyong content ay magmukhang appealing or it can communicate better. So layouting is important kasi your content will have a more impactful way of providing information to other people. So here are some principles, okay? Yung principles of layout. Okay, so ito mga principles na to guys, magagamit natin siya as tools, okay, to guide us when it comes to layouting. So yung principles guys is basically parang rules siya when it comes to layouting. So ito magiging silbi nating guides, okay? And you should keep in mind when you are layouting. So una sa lahat is yung similarity. Okay, so what is similarity? Okay, we have a group of similar objects to make sense of the world around us. So for example, this could be a grouping of things of similar color, shape, scale, or typeface, or even types of information in one page. So kapag tayo nga pala ay nagle-layout, okay, kailangan alam natin guys kung ano yung nile-layout natin or yung information, okay, and basic contents of our yung nile-layout natin. And once na nalaman na natin kung ano yung content natin, we can actually separate, okay, the similar contents from our layout. So let's say for example, 'di ba? Okay, kunyari poster, okay? And meron tayong time, meron din tayong date. So yung mga similar na contents ng ating poster is kailangan magkakasama sila. And hindi sila dapat na magkakahiwalay. Syempre para ma-determine ng ating mga viewers kung kailan or anong oras yung magiging event na yun. So basically, yun yung similarity. Okay, so next we have continuation. Okay, the eye visually identifies the information by following things. For example, we read text best in a line. So when it comes to continuation, guys, it is just basically na it leads our eyes, okay, to the all over do sa ating layout. So for example, meron tayong like step by step na instructions when it comes to the content, okay? And then yung content na yun, 'di ba, step by step siya. So kailangan yung viewers or yung readers natin kailangan na-follow nila yung first step hanggang do sa last. All right? So kailangan when it comes to layouting those types of contents ay kailangan we should lead the viewer's eyes from start to finish. Alright? So yung example nga dito sa presentation natin, which is yung we read text best in a line. So nakakita na ba kayo ng text or yung words na naka-diagonal siya? 'Di ba? Yung mga ganong klase ng layout, syempre, hindi siya advisable, 'di ba? Kasi nga, mahirap siyang basahin. So, let's proceed dito sa ating third principle, which is yung closure. So, ang closure, guys, ay complete shape or layouts are the simplest things to improve visual perceptions. So, when it comes to layouting, guys, so yung ating mga contents should be enclosed and should follow certain shapes. Okay? Ito yung isa sa mga nagagamit din natin, 'di ba? In all types of designing processes, 'di ba? Kasi when it comes to using shapes, okay, our brains perceive, no, those shapes into important contents. Okay? So basically, ganun lang talaga yung closure, guys, no? You should use shapes, okay, when it comes to layouting. Alright, so now let's discuss proximity. Okay, so ito yung isa sa mga importante din na principles when it comes to layout, no? Proximity is the composition of objects in your content or your layout, no, manipulates the message of the whole image. Okay? So for example, meron tayong isang poster, no, of an event. And meron din tayo dun mga ticket prices, di ba? Let's say meron tayong sa other side, meron tayong ticket prices, and on the other side, let's say merch. Okay? So kapag yung dalawang yun ay pinagsama natin and magkaiba sila ng, let's say, costing, diba? Mas mahal yung merch kesa dun sa tickets. Okay? So, kapag yung dalawang contents na yon ay pinagsama natin, magmumuka or mapaperceive no ating audiences or ng viewers natin na parang mahal, no, pag pinagsama yung dalawa. So, ang magandang gawin doon ay paghiwalayin natin sila. Alright? So, basically, ganun yung proximity. Yung isang content, okay, changes its message depending dun sa mga katabi niyang other elements. Okay? So, yun yung kailangan nating isipin when it comes to layout, no? At kailangan ma-identify natin kung alin ba yung makakapagbago dun sa ating magiging message ng ating contents. Alright? So, now, let's proceed to our last principle, which is yung order. Okay? So, order, basically, there must be an order and hierarchy to your layouts. So, kung familiar kayo sa hierarchy na word, no, meron tayong biggest and meron din tayong smallest. Okay? So, otherwise, there will be visual anarchy. Alright? So, basically, order is just knowing kung ano yung pinaka-importante dun sa inyong ili-layout and yung least na important. Okay? So, yun yung hierarchy na sinasabi natin. We group types of text into headlines, subhead, and body text. Diba? Alam kong familiar kayo dito, lalo na pag gumagawa kayo sa, let's say, Word docs, diba? Yung mga headlines and subheads, diba? Magkaiba sila ng contents. Okay? Yung headlines, yun yung pinaka-important or yun yung parang, let's say, title ng ating sinusulat, diba? Yung subheads, let's say, yun yung chapter 1, diba? Ganun lang yung subheads. So, yun yung hierarchy na sinasabi natin. Kung ano yung pinakamalaki, yun yung mas importante. Alright? And yung pinakamaliit, syempre, yun na yung the rest of our content. Also, if there are too many groups, okay, the audience will get visually lost and won't be able to decode the meaning of the document. Alright, so basically, guys, yun yung ating mga principles of layout. Right? And here are some tips na marirecommend ko sa inyo, no? First off, diba, use grids. Okay? When we are using those softwares na like Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, meron tayong tinatawag na grids, okay, or guidelines. So sa Photoshop pati sa Illustrator, guides, yun yung tawag nila dun sa mga grids. So ang next tip ko is use shapes, okay? Katulad nga dun sa isa nating principle, no, which is yung closure. Maganda kung gagamit tayo ng shapes para mas maintindihan ng ating viewers. Okay? Kasi the more simpler the layout is, the better. Diba? Meron nga kasi tayong tinatawag na minimalism, diba? Yun yung pinaka-trendy sa layouting, no? Minimalist designs. Alright, so next is use white space and then use scale and balance. So yan yung mga madalas nating magagamit when it comes to layouting. Alright? And lastly, guys, I want to share with you, no, a good layout shows information, but a great layout communicates a message. Okay, so basically ang ibig sabihin nito, no, Ang isang good layout, pinapakita niya lang yung information na kailangan mo malaman. Pero a great layout shows you or communicates with you kung ano ba yung message or kung para saan ba yung contents na sinishare mo or pinapublish. Alright? So I hope na naging clear yung ating naging discussion for this asynchronous class, no? Alright, so madami pa talaga tayo mga terminologies and key terms when it comes to layouting. As in, sobrang dami. And ito is only an intro or parang methodology lang kung paano tayo makakapag-layout ng maayos. Alright? I will be posting reading materials, okay, when it comes to those other key terms or terminologies when it comes to layout. So I hope to see you guys in our next lecture. Thank you very much for watching.